Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. We are bringing you all the testimonies as we can gather them up from the Klansman One Don gang trial that is going on in Jamaica. Many people are saying this transcripts of these testimonies are like a movie script out of some action Hollywood gangster movie. The only thing is, this is TV Jamaica. This is real. This happened, or allegedly. Anyhow, let's get into the information here today. This is video number 15. So if you're not hitting the subscribe button and if you're not hitting the bell next to it to be notified, you might be missing the videos. So it makes no sense you watch 1 and then 4 and then 7 and then 9 and you're missing all in between. When you come to leave your comments on here, you will be missing information and misinformed. Alright, so if you're one of them people there, don't even bother comment, just watch. Don't comment as far as that's not what happened, SouFLo. Because I've given you 15 so far, which means I'm following this closer than you are. All right, so this one, shout out to the Jamaica Loop for this one. Andre Blackman Bryan, the alleged leader of the One Don faction of the Klansman gang, was charged about a year after the police arrested him at his Upscale apartment in a certain section of St. Andrew. Upscale apartment, in a certain section of St. Andrew. This disclosure was made on Wednesday by an undercover police detective during his testimony at the keenly watched gang trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. I don't know who's keenly watching it. It's definitely not the crowd, not the public, not us, because no cameras are allowed inside. Only excerpts of the transcript are let out to the public. So if you're not one of these people like me who go search for and read through the excerpts, then you don't even know what's being said. All right, and we do this service right here. So let's get on with this. The undercover cop who was introduced, listen to that part I know, because it gets sticky now. The undercover cop who was introduced to members of the gang as the uncle of another gangster, Backfoot, told the court that Brian's mother, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend were also taken into custody from this same location, from the Upscale apartment in that certain section of St. Andrew. Hear this out. Remember the last video I did leading up to this one where I said, this no make sense, because why would I be going to pick up guns? This is what the witness testified. The witness testified, who is a ex-gang member of this gang, self-professed or confessed. He said he went to a location to go pick up guns. They were supposed to pay for the guns and buy the gun. Right? I believe that was the shotgun which he said he eventually turned over to police. He had this undercover man with him. And the undercover police he had with him, he introduced him, took him into their environment. So you know, everybody are like, yo dog, I wish strange face man that man bring come round here. We don't know him. And he's saying, he's in a man, I'm an uncle, everything good. All that time, it was this undercover cop. So like I said, the people who are listening to the videos and have followed them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know that testimony. Now here is him. He is testifying in court. Rotted. Okay. Now according to the police, when he cautioned Brian, he gave no response. No response. I don't know if caution means when they read you your Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, all that stuff. Maybe that's their Miranda rights, or he's talking about when they went to go do a caution statement where they have to write it out or speak it and they'll record it out And Brian, either way, did not say anything. I'm sure Brian probably said, when police hold on upon you, you don't talk. Just call my lawyer. That's it. Anyhow, the police witness on Monday had commenced identifying the 33 accused individuals on trial. Remember, there are a few police officers on this that were undercovers. I don't know how they could not have been that much organized, because so many undercover police infiltrate your movement and you didn't see that coming. Strange face man show up around you and you didn't see that coming. Man, if I was to run a criminal enterprise like this, and I said if because I wouldn't, but if I was, hypothetically speaking, strange man couldn't come around my thing. I don't business who you related to around me. But these are loopholes, and I'm sure that those who are watching will watch this and they will tighten up ship. Not quit, tighten up ship. The amount of money I heard that they collected on a daily basis, hundreds of thousands of dollars, equaling to actually $1 million and more per day. That's Jamaican money, by the way. So it's roughly about 9,000–10,000 US dollars I rounded off at. That's a whole lot of money. So nobody is going to just stop this completely. But that's for another video. So let's get on with the policeman's testimony. So this policeman now, this police witness on Monday had started identifying the 33 individuals that were accused on this trial. And so far, he has identified 27 of the accused people, as well as detailed the circumstances which led to their arrest. So that means time he bringing this man around, this man was looking at and stamping faces. Okay, you there? What him name? Alright, I shoot this. Alright, big up yourself, my youth. What him name? Alright, Hot Skull. Alright, Hot Skull, big up yourself, my youth. And all the time he was just taking notes of faces. And now in a court of law, he is able to point them out and say, yes, man, me see you there, you was there. You can't say nothing because you did that day and you did show me your gun the first day I meet you. You there. He's considered a credible evidence, but you have to hear what happened. So meanwhile, the prosecution has assured trial judge Chief Justice Sykes, the defense attorney, that an update will be provided on Friday relative to phone call records that the police had requested but were still outstanding. So the phone calls that we've been talking about, the recording on the 3 phones, plus there are other phones that's being tied up in court right now, just so you understand where things are. The police witness on Monday said that the call data information that was released to phones that were confiscated from several defendants on the trial, as well as the 3 cell phones used by the prosecution's second witness to secretly record the conversation of alleged gangsters, including Brian. One of these phones have already been admitted into evidence by the judge. These phones now are in a kind of a bind, and I'm explaining it to you what the bind is right now. Sykes reiterated on Wednesday that the matter needed to be urgently resolved. This is the judge telling them that the matter needs to be urgently resolved concerning the phone and the data that is on that phone. And he and the defense, which means the judge and the defense, the people, the lawyers who are defending the criminals or the alleged criminals, we all need to know whether prosecutors would rely on the information on these phones to build its case. That's kind of crazy. Are we backwards or what? Why would they not rely on that information to build their case? That should be a given. But it looked like this is stalling the process because the prosecution wants to use it, but it's not properly prepared right now. He noted, too, that these issues were actually to be resolved at the case management stage before the matter even came and proceeded to trial. So they're behind the ball. They're behind the curve with this one. According to the judge, if and when the information is ascertained, new witnesses will be required to testify, and preparation will then have to be made. So you see, this can be drawn, and remember, they have 44 witnesses, and they already said it from the first one that they have every intention of going through and cross-examining and questioning every single one of the 44, which is why I said before that this is shaping up to be the longest court proceeding case trial in Jamaica's history. Someone needs to listen good, because some people came on here when I said that and said, no, SouFlo, cartel case is the longest case. No, SouFlo, this other case is the longest case. I never said it's the longest case yet. I said it is shaping up to be, considering how many witnesses they have to question, cross-examine, right? And how many lawyers are involved and how many individuals are involved. This is going to take a while. The judge also told the prosecutors that until those issues are settled, it was pointless to go on hearing how the phones were collected without the call data information being provided. Wow. So they're running the risk of this actually not being a part of the trial. Now, it was at this point that the defense attorney Lloyd McFarlane intervened. This is the defense attorney that is representing Blackman, Brian. McFarlane argued, and he said that he was only following the roadmap that the prosecution provided, indicating that he had made no preparations for the call data information to be a part of the case. Okay, again, I'm going to say, any smart attorney would have made preparations for the call data to be a part of the case. Tell me in the comment section if I'm wrong or right. If I'm being prosecuted and my attorney is to defend me, and we all heard at the same time, a man get up and said, me have 3 phones full of evidence, full of recordings. And then there are other phones that were confiscated from other members of my organization, and they're being stripped of their information, which will then be compiled. Don't you think they would be looking for incriminating information on all of these phones to use against your client in the trial? So why is Blackman's attorney saying, I'm just following the roadmap that the prosecutors provided? I didn't make any preparations for the call data to be a part of the case. Makes no damn sense. Anyhow, he suggested also that it would be unfair for the prosecution to introduce this evidence, assuming that it is obtained at this stage of the trial. Rotted. So this should have happened from before. Similar stuff happened again in the Vybz Kartel case. This is what I'm telling y'all. We're not dealing with no shade tree law. We're dealing with a court of law. So there's a process before this even goes to court. It's at that process where someone can actually say, okay, listen, we're looking for a deal for my client because, you know, we'll plead guilty if you give us 10 years or something like that. And this is where the prosecution says to the defense attorney, hey, this is what we have on your client. So far, we have 3 cell phones that were used in an undercover type of operation way. And we have 3 cell phones worth of information on there to use against him. And we are also in possession of all the other phones that were taken away from all the people that were arrested that belong to this organization, allegedly. So gathering up all this information, your client should know what type of information we have against him already. What that would force them to do at that level before it gets to trial is for that information, the evidence, to be examined by the defense team. So they can say, okay, so this is what they have against you as my client, and this is what we're going to do to mount a defense to fight against this. You can't wait till like way up in the trial This should have been done in the preliminaries, and that is what the judge was saying before it even came to court. So when I said it is at risk of being thrown out, this is what I'm talking about. It should have been done already. It wasn't. It is being introduced late, and the judge is still giving them time to work it out and get it in there in a manner in which he can understand it. All right. McFarlane now, who is the lawyer for Blackman, he went on to urge the judge. He says, Judge, you have to draw a line this week concerning prosecutors adding more material to the case that was not disclosed during the case management phase. In response to that, the judge did acknowledge that he would have to examine those issues soon raised by the attorney, but he advised the prosecution to re-examine the issue they faced and update the court. What's going on with those phones and the information on those phones is the focus right now of the judge, as they are supposed to bring this into the courtroom and for this case to continue forward. So did the judge draw a line? The judge says you have till so-and-so. This is what Blackman's lawyer wanted the judge to say. You guys have 1 week. We will meet back on December 20th. Just giving it a hypothetical date, not saying, because you know them take Christmas break and them thing that the trial probably isn't going to go on all through the Christmas holidays. This trial will probably end and then restart sometime in the New Year's. And I'm willing to bet that this will go probably into spring of 2022, right? But the judge needed to say, okay, you have until December 21st to have the information on these phones sorted out and some solid information for me so I understand what it is and which part of this you're going to be using in court. You can't just go there and say, yes, Your Honor, I have 3 phone worth of recording. See the 3 phone here? That doesn't work. These phones, the information on them needs to be written out, printed out in transcripts. Their excerpts, which they need to use to make specific points, need to already be put ready to go. So when they're in court, they're not shuffling through 1 hour worth of information to find that one sentence where someone said, go kill John round at Marcus Lane. They need to have that already put in place, right? And for those of you who don't know, Blackman Brian and 32 others, including 1 woman, they've been tried. They're being tried in the Home Circuit Court under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act 2014. This act is better known as the Anti-Gang Legislation on an indictment with 25 counts on it, to include racketeering, conspiracy to murder, and all that, running a criminal enterprise, all these things. They've been charged with multiple offenses: running a criminal organization, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, facilitating conspiracy to murder, facilitating arson, like the list goes on. And the offenses were allegedly committed between January 1st of 2015 and June 30th of 2019. All members or persons who were arrested have all pleaded innocent so far and now are awaiting the trial phase to decide. And remember, this is a trial by judge only, no jury. Leave your comments in the comment section below. This is video number 15. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these videos, because we will continue to follow this until it ends. All right, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.